हाँ जी बच्चों, वेलकम बैक।
थैंक यू सर।
हाँ, अभी इसको एक बार प्लीज दोबारा समझते हैं, ठीक है? A few changes are required. I'll make those. What we are discussing, we are basically discussing two things. Virtual destructor हमने कर लिए थे. Thereafter RTTI, that is runtime type information. One direct method is you simply call type ID operator, pass the object or identifier there and get its name. The second method is using dynamic cast. That is another method. So what we have done, we have created a shape class here. Like here it is the shape class. Since there is a pure virtual function draw, there is a pure virtual function, it will become an abstract base class, means it can be used for inheritance only and not for creating objects. Using this shape class, we have created an ellipse class. So in this ellipse, in every class that we'll create, there will be a count static data member, which will keep count of how many objects we have created of that particular class. So shape has its own count data member, ellipse has its own count data member, which will be incremented in constructor and decremented in the destructor. So here we are overriding the draw function, which is pure virtual in case of base class shape. So we are overriding it in every class that we are deriving from base class. And then we are also displaying the count, that how many objects of that particular class have been created. From ellipse, we have created a circle class. Once again, we are overriding this function draw. Okay. Once again, we are overriding it. And just in the same way, we are creating rectangle and square. So we'll get this kind of hierarchy. Is it clear?
Yes, so
Out of shape, out of all these, shape is an abstract base class. All other four are concrete classes. So let us proceed. In the main, let me explain it again. In the main, we have created a vector of shape classes, right? So we will store different types of shapes in this vector. So we have generated the seed for the random number, and then randomly we are generating 15 objects. So based on the random value generated, which will vary from 0 to 3, we are creating different types of objects and storing those in this vector, shape vector. Is it clear? Yahan tak clear hai bache?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
here I'll make a small change. Iski zarurat nahi hai hame. I'll make a very small change here. So shapes vector hai. We will get its size. कितने objects हमने उसमें create किए. Then shapes I draw. We'll be able to know what kind of shape we have stored, and that shape will be drawn. After that, we will find out how many objects of each of the different shapes were created. So let me run it once. So first is circle, ellipse, rectangle, square, circle, rectangle. So this is how it is generating different objects. As you can see, how many times the ellipse has been generated? It is once and twice, 2 times only.
Yes, sir.
But it's showing 6. Can anybody explain me why?
सर सर्कल को भी काउंट कर रहा है.
Absolutely right. If you look at the hierarchy here, circle is of type ellipse, ellipse is of type shape, square is of type rect, rect is of type shape. So in all, we have generated 15 shapes. 4 are square and 5 are rectangles. So total rectangles will become 9. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles, 4 squares. So total, because square is also a type of rectangle. If you look at this hierarchy, square is also a type of rectangle, which is again a type of shape. So total we have 15 shapes, out of which 6 are ellipse, 9 are rectangles. Out of 6 ellipses, 4 are circles. Out of 9 rectangles, 4 are squares. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
since we
sir.
are randomly generating these, that's why we can't know in advance. Okay, fine. So here, if you want to otherwise check which kind of shape has been generated, we can do it here. If using dynamic cast, now what will happen in this case? If it is true, if it evaluates to true, we can have different values here like ellipse, circle, rectangle, and square. Let us initialize E is equal to C is equal to R is equal to S is equal to 0. Okay, fine. So we'll be able to know through this method, we will be able to know, okay, the object that has been stored, which has been created randomly, whether it is a rectangle, a square, or a circle, or an ellipse. So what will happen? These counts, let us display these. Cout ellipse so for each type, let us print its count. And let's run it once again. So it's the same 11 ellipse, 5 circles,
Yes, sir.
4 rectangles, and 1 square. What we have done here basically, let me run it once again here. The first value that has been created, the first shape that has been created is square. The very first is
Yes,
square.
sir.
Okay, what
Yes,
it
sir.
will do, what it will do. So first, when I is 0, the first shape is square. It will evaluate to false. Okay,
Yes, sir.
because
Yes,
the
sir.
shape is square, it is not ellipse. It is not ellipse here. So it will be evaluated to false. It will not happen. E will not be incremented. So for first case, only this is true, and that's why S will be incremented. It will become 1. But square is also rectangle.
Yes, sir.
Square is also rectangle. This will also be true. So both the cases will be true for square. Second shape is ellipse. As you can see here, second shape is ellipse. So what will happen? This will evaluate to true,
Yes,
but
sir.
it will not. It will not. Ellipse is not a circle. Circle is an ellipse. Now, what does it mean? We need to understand one thing here. When we move from shape to ellipse, it is called downscaling, right? From ellipse
Yes, sir.
to circle, we are doing downscaling. But when we are moving from circle to ellipse, means we are assigning circle to a pointer of ellipse. That is upscaling. Whether upscaling has been done properly or not, it depends. For example, like in this case, when an ellipse has been generated, this will evaluate to true. But an ellipse is not a circle. Every ellipse is not a circle. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
So ellipse has not been derived from circle. It's the other way around. Circle has been derived from
Yes, sir.
ellipse. So when this case is true, like it is fourth case, fourth is circle. When this case is true, then definitely it is a circle. But then since circle has been derived from ellipse, ellipse is the base class for circle, this is also true. So both the cases will be true when the shape type is circle. These two will be true when the shape type is square. This is true, only this is true when shape type is rectangle, and only this is
Yes,
true
sir.
when shape type is ellipse. So this is the second method of runtime type checking or runtime type information. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
I'll share the code with you. Okay. And
Okay,
one
sir.
more thing. It's about HTML to text. You have submitted that
Yes, sir.
assignment. I want to discuss something about that also. Many of you have used different methods. So many different methods you people have used. It's very simple if I tell you. Look here. HTML. This is how HTML document is generated. Title. Some title might be there. Then there is body. In between body, there may be many other tags. I'm not writing the text anywhere. And so on, and so on. Some tags are in pairs. For example, HTML tag, there is a starting tag, an ending tag. Title, there is a starting tag, there is an ending tag. But then there are certain tags which do not have the ending tag. But every tag is enclosed within
Angular versus.
angled brackets. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So instead of writing all these tags or considering all these tags, because in an HTML, you may not have all the HTML tags available. There may be very few, right? So idea is to generalize the program. What you people are doing, you are looking for only those tags which were present in that particular document. Let me show you that document. Oh, it was there. So you were considering only these tags which are present in this document, but there may be some other tags which are not present. And if you are to given some other input, your program will fail. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Like in this case, this image tag, there is no closing tag of it. It is one single tag, right?
Yes, sir.
And this anchor tag, it has its closing tag as well. So what we can do, we can generalize it. There's a very simple method and a very small code is there. Let me show you that code.
तो मेरा कमेंट भी डिलीट हो रहा था वहां पर, वो भी तो
जी?
एंगुलर ब्रैकेट्स में है, तो कमेंट
क्या
भी
कह
तो
रहे हो?
डिलीट होगा क्योंकि वो भी कमेंट भी डिलीट होगा सर, क्योंकि वो एंगुलर ब्रैकेट्स में है.
एक मिनट, जस्ट अ मिनट. क्या कह रहे हो आप? दोबारा बोलो.
सर जैसे कमेंट है हमारा, आपने दिया हुआ है ये एस्पेंड के बाद. यस सर, ये भी तो डिलीट होगा क्योंकि ये भी तो एंगुलर ब्रैकेट्स में है.
इट्स नॉट अ टैग. आप डिलीट कर भी दो, नहीं भी करो, डजंट मैटर, राइट? दिस इज बेसिकली अ कमेंट. ओके, ये कमेंट है, आप इसको डिलीट करो नहीं करो, डजंट मैटर, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. द आइडिया इज to remove all the HTML tags. Is it clear? So have a look at the program. It's a very simple one. Here, the main logic is here. In every string, you look for left tag and right tag, find out its offset. And after that, simply erase left, starting from left up to right minus left plus 1. So it will give you the starting position of the tag, ending position of the tag. In between these two, whatever is there, you just remove it. So in this approach, we are not considering different types of tags. We are relying more on the angled brackets, starting angle bracket and ending angle brackets, which is important. In between these two, there may be any type of tag, whether it is starting tag like this HTML, or whether it is an ending tag /HTML, that doesn't matter at all. And the code becomes very simple and very crisp. Okay? Have you got it? This is the removal logic is just this much. Some of you have written the code for handling all types of tags. It makes the code very, very lengthy. And this is a very simple approach. This is a very simple approach. I think one of you have used it in your code. किसने यूज किया था?
सर मैंने भी यूज किया है।
सागर ने भी यूज किया। ओके,
सर मैंने वाया फाइल किया है। यस, वाया फाइल किया है, बट वाया फाइल बनाया, वेक्टर यूज नहीं किया है।
नहीं, like in this case also I have used vectors, but I have read the content from files. Use तो files तो
वही, यस सर, एंगुलर ब्रेसेस ही कंपेयर किया।
हाँ, main thing is how you are removing the tags. Tags कैसे remove करना है, that is important. मैं ये वाला कोड भी शेयर कर दूंगा, आप देख लेना. Okay, now we'll have next class on Wednesday. Tomorrow we will not have any class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.